Hello and welcome to We Are Live.
We are live. My name's Chris Denman. That's Travis Terrell, and we're happy to be here on a Friday. Good morning to all of you. Thanks for tuning in on the Facebook live stream, or if you're downloading, thank you as well. Why haven't you reviewed us? Why haven't you shared the subscription with your friend?
Chris. Yeah, get their
It's
ass,
free.
Chris. Get their ass, Chris.
We're excited to be here. We do this 5 days a week, and we couldn't do it without all the great support as we continue to grow in the Midcoast Media Studio, everybody. Are we, how are we looking on the live stream? Hey, there we go. We had a TV screen issue. I don't know if we've,
Can you see me? Are we still
No.
live?
The stream's live there. Look at executive producer and video troubleshooter, Chris Gardner. Hello,
Oh,
Chris.
Where's he at? Oh, hey, there he is.
Good morning, gentlemen. I have no idea what happened there.
Do you think it has anything to do that we got started about 37 seconds late because you got zapped by one of the lights?
Yeah. Didn't feel good.
Yeah? You're powering through it?
Left.
I'm about to say, are
Left
you,
hand's a
are
little-
you anything feeling numb at this point?
Well, the
Are you
left
doing
arm.
right?
So it's hard to tell now if it's a heart attack or just
Oh, that could
literal
be
shock.
Yeah. Shock due to the shock?
It might be both. It often is both.
Look, Gardner, I love you, but all injuries incurred while the taping of We Are Live, we are not responsible for any of your health ramifications.
Okay. I'll check my contract.
So, yeah.
How about,
I don't know what to tell you.
how about
We'll
this?
see.
How
We'll
about,
see.
we've got great listeners. They chime in the Facebook
Oh, I'm sure this
comments.
is
They
delightful,
send in
Chris.
emails
Cannot
for fair or
wait. Oh,
foul.
yay.
Triangle Assassin asked if Travis is blocking the camera a second ago. Just going to sit back and...
You sons of... I don't need this. I don't need this at
Happy
all.
Friday to you, Trav. Why are you blocking the camera, huh?
I'm blocking no damn camera. Sorry, y'all
Why are you
blocking my
blocking the
shine.
camera?
Y'all blocking my shine. That's what y'all doing.
Blocking your shine.
Blocking my shine.
You're blocking your own shine, locking your Twitter account.
Well, you know why? Because some of you are not worthy of my tweets. And some of you, I will have to decide whether or not you should be able to follow me. Thank you for getting camera 3 there. Because I want to talk to the audience.
Call it camera Trey.
Camera Trey, thank you. Listen here. We have had a fruitful relationship over the last 3.5 years. But now that...
Are you saying goodbye?
I'm not saying goodbye, but I want you all to recognize that I don't like any of you and that I don't want anyone to know that we are affiliated in any way. Going forward, please address me as Mr. Terrell. When you see me out in public, make sure you check with Gardner or Chris before you think you can speak to me. So I just want to be very clear. I have been holding everyone's water for this long, and I am done. But I'm happy to be here today. I'm very excited. It should be a great show. We have some great guests coming
You got a
in
real
to
attitude.
the show. Yes,
Sam
I'm very
Lyons will
excited.
join us. You know him from Impolite Company, and he's done the Southtown show several times, does all kinds of stand-up all around St. Louis. A nice young man. We're excited to have Sam in the
Sam's
studio.
the truth. I'm very
Play
excited
some
to have him
recasting
on.
call.
Yes.
Yeah. Mr. Gardner,
Yes.
do we have a fair or foul topic today where we
Yes.
ask people to email in to wall@weareliveradio.com and then they could win $10 to Buzz's Wine Grill?
We do. And just to let you know, I think the camera issue is now solved. It was ongoing still for a little while there.
Oh, okay.
But we have figured it out.
What was the camera issue?
It's difficult to explain because there are words that I don't know that people would care about
There you
when
go.
explaining
You're
it.
fairly cheery though, so it wasn't that stressful then.
Yeah, it took a second to figure out where the issue was.
We had an OCD attack before
Yes, you
we
did.
went live
I
as
have
well.
never seen anything like that
Travis
before in my
tossed
life.
a folder on the in-studio couch,
Just
which
left
was
it open.
Gardner, instead of clicking going live, had to get up and off camera, had to make sure the folder was closed.
Fixed it, and then I fixed a curtain, and then I got shocked by a light. It was about 15 seconds before we started.
If you ever
So
want to
all
know
that happened.
the dreamy and glamorous behind the scenes of the Midcoast Media Studio.
I'm almost certain that's what our audience thinks when they turn into this broadcast. Dreaming.
And we got a busy day today. We got our friends at St. Louis Counseling Services coming in to do Mental Health Matters. We got our friend Stacy Static dropping by. We got our friend Marcus dropping by with his podcast. The Soulardians are coming in here tonight. It is getting busy here, and I just wanted to thank everybody for all the support because it's been a fun ride so far, and we're very early on in the ride.
Back to fair or foul?
Yeah.
Okay.
And as I was getting to the fair or foul topic.
Yeah.
Did you hear the disdain in his voice just
Yeah,
now?
he was.
No, I was trying to think of
Yeah.
how to present this. And we'll get into it in a little bit here.
Okay.
I'm going to read it to you first and then a brief explanation.
Okay.
A mobster scheming to destroy the Rascal Flatts themed restaurant chain.
That sounds stranger than fiction.
It is not fiction. If you read a recent story in the Arizona Republic at azcentral.com, you would find out
I have
that
that favorited on my favorite sites list.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got some interesting. Well, they do have some interesting stuff, obviously, going on.
Ever since I visited Phoenix and just saw how clean it was, follow all their media outlets.
You are old as hell because you have been talking about how clean Phoenix was for almost an entire year now.
Because every my mundane 4-mile drive to work, I see 7 cars just take full bags of fast food and
Yeah.
right out the door.
Yeah, that is bad. Phoenix is a very beautiful city, but like the cleanest city you've ever been to, like I still will put San Diego at the top of that list. San Diego, as far as clean,
It's beautiful.
fresh,
I don't know, there's
it
a
is
lot of
absolutely.
vagrants running around there.
But that's
on my
okay there.
cross-off
That's the
list.
place to do that.
Yeah, surfer or vagrant?
Read that. Generally, that's the question when you're in Southern California. Like, I don't know, does he own 50% of Google, or is he
Could.
living under a bus station?
You could.
You just
You
never know.
figure it out.
That's the best part about Cali.
All right. So, the Arizona Republic recently published a story by Robert Englund, and he had worked on this story for, I think, roughly 3 years. That explains how a mobster in the Witness Protection Program, Frank Capri, was running his scheme to make money.
Gardner, we've
And
talked about you
take down,
lying about this.
This is real. This is real. To take down the Rascal Flatts themed restaurant chain. So that won't be coming to St. Louis.
No, it is not happening now.
And apparently he also took out in the past, running kind of the same deal.
Yes, he did.
The Toby Keith themed
What's that
restaurants,
called?
which were called
You know what it was called.
I
right?
Love This Bar and Grill.
That's it? Is that a lyric or a line?
Yeah, he's got a.
I love this bar and grill.
Well, it's just I Love This Bar is the song
And grill.
and grill.
That would be Hick's favorite Friday night spot if I was Hick of Hick and Hop.
Hick and Hop.
Yeah. You
This
ever been
is a-
down to I Love This Bar and Grill? And then you're confused. You're like, you love what bar and grill? And we got a real who's on first.
How would Hop respond to that?
Yo, dog. Make sure you eat your vitamins, bitch.
Oh, wow.
I'm still trying to work out the hot part. This is all new to me. I'm going to be completely honest.
How is that new to you?
Being
It's
hood.
been your entire life.
Yeah.
Damn you, God.
Just admit you distracted yourself by your tablet there, and that's fine.
Yeah, it was. Well, no, I was looking at Robert Englund, his Twitter timeline,
Yeah.
his thread that he created in regards to this incredibly bizarre story. I don't know what's going on. Ever since The Big Short, there have been just a plethora of stories that are so incredibly bizarre, you're looking forward to the film before you even finish the article. And this is another one of those stories.
I want to
because
show you the headline too.
Okay.
I'm going to show you on the screen just because I thought the graphics and everything were
It's
fantastic.
look at this. Rascal Flatts restaurants failed nationwide. Did a mafia soldier pull the strings? When you read that headline, you immediately go, someone got on the phone with Adam McKay. Because these stories we've been coming across, from the Monopoly scam to now this, like these are the most bizarre stories that you are almost certain, you're trying to figure out how did these stories not become national news? And then you realize, oh, there's national news breaking every hour on the hour, so now you can see a lot of these stories going under the radar. This is such a bizarre story that a guy with mafia ties essentially brought down Rascal Flatts restaurant that was going to be the gem of downtown St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
And now what are we stuck with? A dirty ass dome that occasionally hosts Garth Brooks and Beyonce concerts. Look at those guys. Poor them. Poor rascal. Life is the mob way. Jesus Christ. We gave them graphics. We knew this was going to happen. We knew this was going to happen. What did I say 2 months ago? When Gardner figures out this software, he's going to lose his damn mind. Look what he's doing.
Here I am trying to get insane things done, like famous people Skyping in and making that happen. No, we're focusing on the hashtags and the Rascal Flatts pictures. Congratulations, Gardner.
Content.
Thank you.
Content. Hashtag content. So
We're
you feel good about this?
I feel very good about this.
We'll dive deeper into that.
Can I sing that? Life is a mob way.
The mob way.
We're gonna die all the way home.
Not as good as your other one.
Nah, I've had better. The fact is,
Probably should have warmed up a little today.
yeah, the guy had notorious ties to the Lucchese crime family.
Luke Casey.
Yeah, that too. You see, I purposely mess up the last name so that way they know he's too.
By the way,
he's
sentence
too
of the week.
stupid to kill.
Sentence of the week today as well. Just
Oh, yeah. We'll get into that.
Lucchese's.
Luke Casey.
Luchess.
Luke Casey. And what am I? This is like what it's like to record with Sean.
No.
Sean, the star of the Dogs on Film voiceover.
It's been a big week for the mob families. There was a mob boss killed yesterday in New York City.
A couple days ago.
Do you think it had anything to do with this? Maybe somebody was a rat?
Ooh. I didn't know mob hits still happen.
Well, it's the first one in New York City or in that area, I think, since Paul Castellano.
How long ago was that?
That was in front of a steakhouse. That was mid-'80s.
In 1985.
This is the first mob hit since mid '80s.
Well, the one for a boss.
For a boss, right. Wow, that's chilling. Oh my.
I think Gotti was behind the last one.
He was. So how is it that you? I mean, are people? No one's going to get arrested for this, right? I think he was ran over as well. He was shot several times and ran over.
Oh, the boss?
Yeah.
He was shot several times and ran over.
I believe so.
Damn, we in New York. Damn,
Making a comeback.
Oh Lord.
I think with some of this, a lot of people are like, "Wait, they're still doing stuff."
Yeah,
They just
absolutely.
operate differently.
Right.
The band Rascal Flatts were a victim. Capri had the band sign a deal with the restaurants to build country restaurants around its chart-topping hits. The band didn't know Capri was behind the company that, of course, established the Rascal Flatts restaurants.
So do you think it's one of those things where they just put their name on something and then they show up and smile, take a few
no
pictures?
doubt.
And
That was it. They didn't have any
you
say
mean to tell
in
me the
menu
Rascal Flatts
and-
guys aren't rolling up silverware and getting in there and mixing it up?
Well, and I think Toby Keith was in the same situation. It's basically naming rights.
Right. Yeah.
Is how you want to look
And then
at
the
it.
journalists have a field day because it's Rascal Flatts and a mob boss.
Yeah, I think if you go to the author's, he's got a Twitter thread on it. It's Robert Anglin, Anglen. He's got like a brief explanation of kind of how the story came about for him. I just pulled it up right now. He said, "Hi, I've got an offer you can't refuse. I've spent 3 years investigating how a mafia soldier is behind the collapse of Toby Keith and Rascal Flatts restaurant chains. I figured you'll enjoy a thread about how it came together. What have you got to lose?" And he warned about some of the audio that they have. Actually, they have actual audio with this story of this
Like
Frank
from the
Capri,
recording studio?
from this Frank Capri character.
If audio and it's him in there while they're okay. All right, I like where this is headed.
He says, this started in 2015 with a routine assignment. My editor asked me what's happening at Toby Keith's. I love this bar and grill. Honestly, I wasn't really interested. A bunch were closing in Phoenix. Happens all the time, right? No, not like this. I got interested fast. Turns out a Phoenix company called Boomtown Entertainment owned Toby Keith restaurants across the country, and it was closing them. At the same time Boomtown was closing restaurants, it was promising new ones. Weird, right? Stay with me. Boomtown closed 19 of 20 Toby Keith restaurants in about 18 months. It promised 20 more that never got built. Developer said it was intentional. They accused the owner of taking money meant to pay for construction and walking away. Lawsuits were being filed all over the U.S. Reporters don't believe in coincidence, and the restaurant failures formed a pattern. Some stayed open a few weeks before closing. I asked to interview Boomtown's owner, was invited to the company's newest restaurant. I was the only person in the building. It was dinner time.
Oh, God, that's crazy.
Did you say something about the mafia? I'm getting there. Boomtown's owner wouldn't meet with me in person. He was a man named Frank Capri. He had a very unusual past. He didn't seem to exist before 1999.
Oh, my
boy.
God.
The more questions I asked about Capri, the less I seemed to be able to find out. In the family court documents, I found references to the Federal Witness Protection Program
Oh, boy.
and the New York mob.
Oh, dear God.
In one court document, Capri's lawyer told a judge that even if Capri were in witness protection, he'd have to lie about it per the program rules. Then he asked the judge to seal the case. That's what we call a smoking gun. More digging. I found records that Capri was a former soldier in New York's notorious Lucchese crime family. His real name was Frank Gioia Jr. He became a made man in 1994. The government gave him a new identity after he implicated dozens of mobsters.
Oh, wow. So the guy was in the witness protection program?
He was in the, or that's what it seems.
Okay.
There has been no confirmation of that by
whether or
anyone,
not that-
and
okay.
the feds aren't answering questions on it,
Oh,
or
boy.
aren't really providing.
I'm not even listening to it.
So he there, and the government is suggesting that this guy indeed implicated dozens of mobsters, and before.
Well, he did something to get into witness protection.
Wow.
What that is, who knows? England goes on. Is Rascal Flatts another victim? Turns out Capri wasn't done after Toby Keith. The band signed a deal with RF Restaurants to build country restaurants around its chart-topping hits. The band didn't know Capri was behind the company.
I see.
Capri's name was not on public documents tied to RF Restaurants, but I found he controlled key aspects of the projects that failed last year. Capri's associate made recordings of phone calls with Capri. They really tell a story, and he's got more recordings in this Twitter thread. How did that work? The managers of RF Restaurants are Tawny Costa and Chris Burka. Costa is Capri's girlfriend. Costa and Burka point fingers at each other. Costa says she was never an owner. Burka says Costa controlled the finances. Guess what happened? Projects collapsed.
Right.
The Rascal Flatts restaurants had a similar outcome to Capri's Toby Keith restaurants. One opened and closed a year later. Projects in 7 states failed. Money for construction was gone.
There it goes again, St. Louis.
Mobsters have a name for that, don't they? They do. They call it a bust out.
Okay.
It refers to using a company's line of credit to drain it of assets. There are lots of variations. The scheme is so popular, it was used on an episode of HBO's The Sopranos.
Wow.
My gosh.
So that's just a few of the details.
Big week in mob news, huh?
It's been not only a big week in mob news, but a big week in scams.
What if HBO is making this happen for the prequel?
For The Sopranos. That
Just
would be,
to drum up some interest. Like they had received a tip on this, and then just for the publicity, they kind of dimed somebody out.
Well, they did extend winter in the Midwest for Game of Thrones final season.
Right.
So for them to go to these
You know what we're
lengths,
talking about, Gardner.
Absolutely.
What's this?
Oh, here you go again.
You're
Westeros.
You're so cool.
All right.
Westeros?
You're so cool.
Westerosa.
Here's a question, though, I have for you guys. And again, this has been a huge week in scams. And I don't want to be incredibly pessimistic about just society in general. But is everything fixed? Is everything basically just a way to set something up so I can scam over someone else? Is everyone grifting? Where are we at right now in society? Because it feels like every news story that we have seen over the last year and a half, 2 years, have been stories about scams, grifters, people basically undermining the system in order to get ahead. And I know we, in passing, talk about, well, that's just the way life is. Oh, God, is it really that?
No,
Is
that's
everything
what-
we
that's
see
what
now just
people
a giant
want you
scam?
to think so that they can continue doing that.
Good God. This, like, when they said
There
Rascal
are
Flatts
jerks,
Bar
Travis.
and
There
Grill.
are jerks out there.
Yeah, I'm thinking Rascal Flatts coming to St. Louis.
Why would
Bar
you
and
do this
Grill.
to Rascal Flatts?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Why Rascal
Never,
Flatts?
Never in my 34 years, but I think I feel bad. I would ever feel bad for Rascal Flatts for anything. They tormented me with that. My wish. Remember
Look
that?
at these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm thinking if you're Rascal Flatts, you're like, I'm going to loan my name to a business. We're going to have our songs play in the restaurants, and we're going to make X percentage off revenue. And I'm sure these guys have good, honest representation, people who go through line by line all their contracts. And here, the entire time, they were loaning their name to a former mafia soldier. Like, how do you avoid that? Like, how do you not know someone's in the mob?
How does that work?
Because he wasn't on any of the documents.
Right, but I'm saying to the Rascal Flatts point, like, what do you do then? Like, this is a story where their name gets dragged into next to a mafia guy.
Yeah, but they're just saying, okay,
They're like, somebody came to me.
You're going to give us
you
money?
do these 5 things, and then you get X amount of money, and their business manager goes, I mean, yeah, probably.
Sure. I felt terrible for them.
Just make
Poor
sure
Rascal Flatts.
Just make sure the potato skins are good. That's all.
Yeah,
signature dish.
You don't want to wrap a poor potato skin.
I wonder what the signature dish would have been at Rascal Flatts themed restaurant.
That's a good question. Does this change your view at all? Your perception just on everything in life? Some of these stories, like the scam, or the college scam. Like, I feel like we've always heard that.
I've always kind of thought like, something's
not.
There's a lot of crazy stuff that goes on out there, and everybody takes different paths to get to the end of their journey.
I'm trying to create controversy locally.
Yeah, all over the place.
I tried to last night and got a phone call immediately about it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
How'd that go?
I just trying to, this college admissions scam.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, dude, can we get something like locally like this? So I just tweet out and call out Martin Kilcoyne and ask him how much his mother paid for him to get into CBC.
And what did he answer? Did he answer?
He did call me. Brian Hoffman, his radio producer, called me within 30 seconds of me posting that tweet and started yelling at me about my tennis scholarship. And he's like, what about that? I go, I said that on the air today, sir. And I said, it's likely my grandmother paid for me to go to Lindenwood. So I took that away from you automatically.
Right.
What you got now.
You're like Eminem and 8 Mile. You're good.
And I told him, and now I'm putting you in with this. And he's like, how am I in with this? I go, look at you.
Yeah.
What school did you go to? What high school did you go to?
Yeah, get his ass, Guardsy. Get his ass.
CBC?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Mr. Hoffman, where did you go to college? Marquette? Oh, Mr. Kilcoyne,
Oh, boy.
who went to CBC High School,
Oh,
also
here we
went
go.
to where for college?
Where'd he go?
Marquette.
Oh, here we go. We have a new
How
scandal.
high does this go?
Yes. These are real
How
questions.
high does this go?
That's
We
very
are
true.
affected
Very to the
locally.
top.
I'm calling it Operation TKO
Nice.
in honor of the Kilcoyne opinion. So I will continue a thread on this probably later this afternoon.
Oh, man.
So you're trying to stir it up locally.
Yeah, we need something.
Yeah.
You got to localize the story, right?
Now that 314 day's over, we
Yeah.
don't have a lot going on.
If
around
we
here.
had somebody involved from the area, that would work best, because then you can localize the story. Then you can go talk to their friends, try and knock on their family doors, and then cover the story that way. We don't have that here. So instead, I'm going to make something up.
Since we're in the middle of mess and being petty, let's just go an extra step further. What is something currently today, whether it's locally or nationally, that you believe is one giant scam or the next big scam to be brought down? What is something that you have believed for a long time is like, man, that ain't adding up. How does this work with this? And they have this. I don't know how that works. That's got to be a scam. Is there anything nationally or locally that comes to mind for you?
Oh man, it's very easy. It's whoever picks the fad diet. It's all that is.
Oh yes.
All it is venture capitalists just shorting one. They're like, you know what? The guy at the grain store really pissed me off. Let's attack grain for the next 10 years. I think that's what it is.
That makes
because
sense.
At the end of the day, we just need a hip name and somebody that looks good
Yeah.
repping it.
Yeah.
Because every single diet just ends up being like, eat less, move more. And they just come up with some kind of weird
Eat less,
association with
move
it.
more.
So you're telling me all these
That's
diets came because somebody didn't like what happened at the deli when they were ordering a sandwich,
there's
and that's why you can't eat carbohydrates?
I would not doubt that.
That's right.
I believe
There's an
in that.
attack on Big Dairy because Steve Milk attached himself to a
Is he
bad
related to
business
Tim
deal.
Apple?
Yes, he is.
Very likely. I think The biggest scam currently going, and this is locally and nationally, I think road construction. There's
Oh,
no doubt
the
in my mind that
never-ending-
something, there's got to be someone at the end of that rainbow that's just
Right.
making billions off just, you know what? Earl, go down the King's Highway, put like 14 potholes, and we're going to spend the next 6 months on a half-mile stretch of road. Like, there's no way that all this road construction is necessary. No way. In
Yeah,
2019.
maybe it's big asphalt, and
Very likely.
they're allegedly just like pumping in sand, not sand. What's something confetti, used confetti into their mix, because then it'll go away quicker, which in turn means
More business.
More business.
That's
and
why
you
I think
need
the
that.
construction lobby the road construction lobby is big anti-climate change people, because
Oh,
they
don't fix it.
recognize,
We need extreme things to keep building these all
yes,
the time.
they're
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, nothing wrong with the weather, and they're like, yeah, I love that it's snowing in March. So they're like, oh man, we're getting our money's worth. So I definitely believe road construction is like the biggest scam.
I don't know if I want to answer your question.
Oh boy! Oh, you're
He's gonna
afraid.
go- he's gonna
You're
go
afraid
big.
to step in. Oh, what's wrong, Mr. Gardner? You can talk all that shit, but now when it comes to you actually coming up with a controversy, you're afraid to attack the issues head on.
It depends on if the Vatican allows anyone.
Oh
into the
God, no,
library.
no.
So if you're asking me about a scam,
no, then you're right. Yeah.
Do you want me
then
to
no,
answer
no,
this
no, I do
question?
not want you to answer that one. You're right. Let's move on to the next segment.
because it was going to be religion.
No, let's not. No. No.
Yeah, Mr.
No,
Mr.
absolutely not.
Mr.
Weren't you
Mr.
just yelling at me for not answering, and then I
Oh, boy.
answered your question?
I should have looked deeper into your eyes. That was my mistake. I should have known you were holding something back for a particular reason. That's my bad.
I
Foul
was
on
trying to
Travis.
protect
That
everyone.
was me. Foul on me. I take it out. Look,
Okay.
he gets 2 free throws. My bad.
I was shooting.
Yeah, he
Do
was
we-
shooting. He was in the act of shooting.
Don't say that. Those two words together. Jeez. My neighborhood was half of it was quartered off yesterday because somebody decided to engage in an active shooter situation that ended up in somebody boarding himself up in a business and unfortunately ending his own life. So there you go.
So a day that ends in Y in Tower Grove.
Welcome to St. Louis, everybody. So again, we've got fair or foul today. One more time on this. All right, here we go. A mobster scheming to
Yes.
destroy the Rascal Flatts themed restaurant chain / Life is a Highway.
No, it's not. It's hashtag life is a mob way.
Email us, WAL, that's WAL at weareliveradio.com
He's so
with your
proud of it,
thoughts,
too.
and you can win $10 to Buzz's Hawaiian Grill. Be like Alexis Zodos from KMOV. Did we get back into did we want to jump back into talking about what she said about her husband, or we just move forward?
Oh, we can do that if you want.
About being off the
real
record.
I thought there was maybe some videos that we needed to recap, but real quick, if you want to text in, I haven't told everybody yet, 314-669-1431. We've got that up and rocking. If you want to remain anonymous, if not, shoot us a comment on the Facebook live stream. Travis, comedy was great last night. Jovan Bibbs, amazing. Carly Lawrence, we had a gentleman from Ireland in, Jason Brennan. You had Matt Wayman crushing. You had John Venegoni. And you know where we did that? Southtown Pub. So huge thanks to them for hosting our weekly comedy
Matt
series.
Wayman is so damn funny.
We always
He's
go-
such a brilliant writer.
Oh, wow.
Good gosh, what an
You
enjoyable show that was. Because all of those performers are just completely. They couldn't be more different, and they absolutely killed yesterday.
Everybody.
They were so damn good. I talk it up all the time. Jovan mentioned it himself after his set last night. St. Louis comedy is just. I'm willing to put it up against any city. Honestly, I kid you not. I'm willing to put it up against L.A. I'm willing to put it against New York.
Wow.
I'm willing to put it against the Chicago area. I'm not joking here. I'm serious.
Everyone appreciates the fighter, okay?
Right. But I think what we're seeing out of St. Louis when it comes to the comedy scene,
You're
it's
talking like a
very
man
unique.
who may be headed to the East Coast soon.
No, I'm saying in general. I think first of all, everyone who's in
You
LA,
got bias, it seems.
I have some bias, but if everyone
You're getting whimsical.
everyone we know, everyone we've seen go out to LA or New York, of course, are from essentially the Midwest, Chicago, Ohio, Missouri, Texas, and these guys go out to these major cities and they kill. And I think St. Louis, needs to start receiving more credit for the type of talent they are sending to the coast, because there are some amazing comedians that you can catch at any point throughout the week here in St. Louis. And I hope everybody gets out and checks them out because they're so damn good. Jovan Bibbs. Like, that's a big ad. That's like LeBron coming to the Lakers. That's a huge get for the city of St. Louis.
Worked out
huge
well for
get.
the Lakers, so I don't know if you want to. I don't know if you want to use that. Travis, hyperbole, Terrell.
Whoops.
Did we want to talk about anything? We just talked about the Alexis thing, but then there's something happening in the Northeast in May. Do we want to talk about that?
Yeah.
Yesterday, in breaking news, Travis Terrell. This is actually, of all the Facebook announcements that happen, usually it's like somebody's like, I'd like to announce I've bought a new pair of socks and I really just appreciate this journey.
News.
Some personal news. Marvis Morel. Actually, you need to start going by Marvis Morel on everything, because if they start looking into the show's past.
Don't worry, Chris. I protected all the programs and shows we've done over the last 3.5 years.
Great. Do you know how to do that?
I do not know how to do that. So what I'll probably do is just delete all those things. And
Do you know how to do that?
Well, I'll be honest, I don't know how to do that either. So what I'll do is like what I do when I'm always in doubt, just set it on fire. Just set it all on fire.
So if you
happens a
set the
lot.
computer on
Just
fire,
set the
that'll
computer,
delete all the
I feel
programs.
like that should be about it. That should do the job.
That happens a lot with vehicles in St. Louis.
Like, I don't know. I ain't got no tags on this car.
If you're an
I ain't paid the car note in 6 months. I'm just gonna set it on fire.
You're like Zoolander and them trying to get the files out of the computer and just throw
Yes,
it on the
that's exactly me. Oh, like patting the top of the monitor.
Spraying hairspray up into the air because he thinks it hurts the cloud.
Yes.
That his file is left on.
Take that cloud. Give me some more potpourri. Spray some in there. That'll get the cloud. That'll show the cloud.
So Travis Terrell breaks actual great news on Facebook yesterday, and not to say that I didn't believe it, but I didn't know what was happening. So officially yesterday, Travis, you put some news out there. What's going on?
I have decided to take my talents to New York City.
For 3 months.
I have been selected to go to join the lovely Sesame Street Writers Workshop, where I will learn how to become a screenwriter. I tried to make screenwriter as dramatic as possible.
Oh,
there are my
boy,
friends.
I don't feel
there's
very
Ernie, there's
comfortable at all.
Bert, there's Grover, there's Lily, there's Big Bird, there's Cookie Monster, there's Shannon,
Oh, boy. Oh, man.
Got some work to do.
there's Karen, Leroy in the back.
So what? So you have.
I have a
you've
name
got-
for this, actually, that what you've been doing.
Oh, really? Okay, what's the title to this one?
Yeah.
Operation Big,
Big
Bird.
There you go.
So Travis Terrell leaving for 3 months. I got a bunch of texts, and to be honest, you're a grown man. I don't know what's going on or how this is going to happen. And yes, the show is still rocking and rolling. We do have hopefully a video link by then, and we'll have Travis on the show still every day.
Gardner, video link. Can we get it by May?
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay.
CJ asking, did you just say tickle monster when describing?
No, I said that's Cookie.
I wanted to do this, too, real quick.
What do you got?
Travis be looking at Big Bird like,
That is. The only thing good about that photo is that was 25 pounds ago.
and now we also have an answer to the question, why did Travis protect his tweets?
Yep. Pulled some great reporting by the who's the Galesburg conductor.
Galesburg conductor,
Choo
always always on the journalism beat, doing a great job as always. And he was like a strong journalist, was able to put two and two together.
I like that Hinkles on the Friends of WAL page is appreciative that you'll be teaching his kids what that booty do.
I'm excited to show the kids of tomorrow what life can be like and what life truly is about. And that's the spirit of We Are Live. Am I
Listen,
right, Chris?
no,
that
it's
has
not.
been that has been my nature since you all have met me. I have always been about the children. How can we help the future?
No.
And now I've been given the responsibility to get your child, get him excited about science, get him excited about technology. I will be that voice, and I look forward to making your children smile.
So this is very real? Oh, no.
Hey. That is.
You gonna stop talking about that now? Is that what's gonna happen?
Gardner, you can put up your center ways, you can put up these temptations, but that will not stop me. I will keep moving forward. I will not be distracted. I will not be distracted by things like that. Get that off the screen. Get that.
Screenshot
I will not be distracted by the center ways of the likes of Gardner and Chris Denman.
I don't think Sesame Street has any religious affiliation.
Big Bird, what the
So if you're listening on the audio feed, there's a photo of Rihanna poolside. So okay. So how does this work? How did you get there? Let's break it down some more.
I've been working on.
So usually
scripts,
he says, oh, I'm writing stuff, and you're like, you're eating chips and watching Netflix.
which
dropping
generally,
crumbs.
which if you actually talk to
Boy,
professional
we clean-
screenwriters, that's actually what it is. You're eating.
They've literally talked about the best food, fast food, and delivery, like, because these guys and gals lock themselves in a room for 10 to 16 hours, and you just have to sit there and rehash things and do it over and over. And you literally do hang out with a bunch of smart, funny people and eat a bunch of Chinese food and come up with fun ideas.
That's essentially it. And now, I was telling everyone last night who were very kind to come up to me with congratulations. It is something I didn't go to school formally for. I didn't go to school for creative writing. I didn't go to school for film and television. So after, it's nothing like, of course, spending $50,000 in public education only to figure out that you want to do something entirely different once you leave school. But I've always had a passion to write. I just never knew that you can actually, when I was younger, I didn't ever think that you could turn it into a career where you can actually earn a living off of it. But I did not know how to get involved into the industry, into screenwriting. So like anything else that's available to people, I went to the internet. I talked to a lot of friends who were associated with the industry, connected to the industry in some way, shape, or form. They gave me a ton of advice over the years. They told me what I needed to do in order to try to find a way into the industry. And so I've just been working on the craft and working on screenwriting, learning about actually how to put together a sound script. If you've ever attempted to write a screenplay, it is one of the most difficult things to do, not just because of the task, but how mentally difficult it is as far as it's draining. It's to Chris's point, a lot of people don't know that you're actually writing. You say that you're writing and they're just like, sure, whatever, bro, I won't ever see it. And so you have to deal with that part of it. And it's not something that I believe anyone can do. I know a lot of people talk about doing it, and you'll see the people in the Starbucks lobby and they're typing away.
You gotta get told no like 100 times.
And I would imagine that me going forward in my pursuit of screenwriting, that I'll be told no 50, 75 more times. But just having the patience to stay with this while trying to work a job and take care of your other responsibilities, it's a very difficult thing to balance. Long story short, I ended up submitting a script that I had been working on for about 6 months to Sesame Street. They had an application process where they were accepting all new scripts. You fill out an application, you send in your resume, and a few weeks ago, I got the opportunity to interview. I was like, cool, I'm a finalist. I've never been a finalist for any of the fellowship programs I've applied for, so I thought this will be a great learning experience for me. I'll go through the rigors of the live interview.
Rigors.
No, we don't use that word here, Chris. And we've never used that word here, in fact.
It'd be funnier if you did.
I need you to go back and delete that. Nevertheless, I was just hoping just for some positive feedback.
Right. Hey, better luck next year, kid.
Or just, hey, you're on the right path. Keep it up, punch in the arm, keep on moving. Because for a writer, that's gold. That's for someone professionally in the industry to say, hey, you're not completely awful. That's a huge punch in the arm. And that's what I got during the interview process. One of the young ladies who was interviewing me for Sesame Street actually said she liked what I had written. So that was the first time that someone had said that was inside the industry.
That they liked anything about you?
Well, that's recently, certainly, yes. So to my surprise, a couple of weeks ago, I got confirmation from Sesame Street that I have been selected to be a part of their 2019 Writing Fellowship Program in New York City starting in May. So I'm very excited for the opportunity. I've never been in New York. I've been telling everyone that, but I've gotten people from all over, friends and connections we've been able to make, of course, through We Are Live, who have already reached out, who are looking forward to helping me.
First thing he asked, he's like, hey, you think Roy Wood Jr. let me sleep on his couch? What's Michael Costa doing?
That was my first guess, was Costa.
Can I stay with Trevor Noah?
I was like, Costa.
Did they know we're from We Are Live?
I was like, man.
We were on Corolla.
I was really hoping that, I was going to hit Costa with the, yo, bro, remember me?
Uh-huh.
Hopefully. So I'm excited.
Not really.
No, yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting. But I was thinking about this last night during the comedy show that freaked me out, is that I have loved almost every movie, action, thriller that has taken place in New York. And now every horrible scene from those movies and TV shows are replaying in my head. So I'm fearful that it's going to happen. So have you seen the movie The Bone Collector?
It's been a while if I have.
So in the first opening minutes of The Bone Collector, these rich white people get off their flight and they get into a cab. And the cabbie is a serial killer, and he locks the door and he drives them to his dungeon and he murders them. That's been going through my head a lot because I'm like, oh, I would be the guy that gets in that cab that is now owned by a serial killer, and he's going to take me to like an underground dungeon underneath the train tracks in New York City.
You're not a rich white person.
I know that, but they don't care most of the time. That's in the movies. That's just for effect. They just kill my black ass whenever they want.
You got to know if it's a serial killer. If we're going that route, Travis. You got to know what their MO is, and that's what you build your fear off of.
But no, Chris, I've never been to New York City. Will
you return?
I would like to. I would like to live. I would like to survive.
So here's the thing that I saw, because I looked it up to make sure. Last night I was just looking at it. I was like, oh, that's a cool program. So they said you can get a development deal.
The objective of the program is for you to be able to pitch your original idea, the screenplay that I created for the program. I will have the opportunity not only to work on that screenplay with industry professionals, but pitch it to the folks at Sesame Street.
So that they're getting, this is a major access opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. And if just getting in the door, getting the opportunity to learn, and that's kind of what I explained in my interview, and I said in my application process, is just the opportunity to learn. Look, some people have formal training. Some people went to the USCs, the UCLAs, the NYUs of the world.
How'd they get in there?
Some people work really hard, Chris. But no, there are a lot of people who do have the formal training, and there are a lot of people who do not. And that's, in many respects, Hollywood in a nutshell. A lot of these screenwriters and showrunners that you see, that you love for your favorite films and favorite TV shows, a lot of those folks did not go to school for. A lot of those people didn't necessarily go to college for the idea of being a producer, a director, or a screenwriter. So having to learn the craft is just the most important thing for me right now, because I know I'm not where the Jordan Peels are. I know I'm not where the Ryan Cooglers are, but I would love to get to that point. In order for me to get to that point, I need to be able to go through these type of programs. So I'm very excited for that opportunity.
Will you be back in St. Louis, or will we be having to deal with Avatar Travis? Like, we can hire someone to, it's a version of blackface, but if we found the right person, they would hopefully have the right skin tone. They wear a mask, and then you talk virtually, but their body's still here.
So that's not a bad idea.
So we superimpose your face from New York, but what's your plan?
The plan is
gonna put in a remote work request?
The plan is to be able to do the show, because when I do the program, it would not interfere time-wise with what we currently do. The objective is for me to go to New York and actually network, to be able to meet with people within the industry, and again, just learn about how things work. And so I'm going to take the summer, see how that works, and who knows? Could I end up writing in Black Panther 2? That's probably the goal.
Gardner, he legitimately thinks that, doesn't he?
I firmly believe that. Well, I firmly believe that I can find my way onto either The Daily Show or Colbert.
Listen, scrubbing Michael Costa and Roy's shoes.
You better believe I'm going to show up to the Daily Show studios with our interviews with Costa and Roy Wood. I would be.
Good luck.
I'm going to do it anyway.
If anybody would like to.
Roy going to let me through. Roy going to let me through, because Roy going to be like, oh man, another brother. Great. Come through. Roy's going to let me. Costa, and then Costa and Roy. I am absolutely going to milk that.
So since as of this morning, yesterday, or whatever, well, I won't believe this till you're mid-flight on the way to New York City that this is all going to work out. But I would just like to announce that if anyone would like to try and beat out Matt Whitener for this seat whenever Travis goes on to Black Panther 2.
Man, let's time out. How y'all just going to start?
Send your submissions. I'll have my own damn Sesame Street sign up. That's
what
right.
What the hell is this?
WAL at weareliveradio.com. Tell me how you'd replace Travis.
That's messed up, cuz. That's all right.
It's all right. I got a whole bunch of sound clips.
Yeah,
What?
that's true. We could just do that. Do we have any available? I mean, I don't know if you have any
We
drops.
could. I'm kind of dealing with some issues over here.
I don't want to do that.
Multiple issues.
Okay. Is it the kind of issue that stops me from talking about Buzz's Hawaiian Grill?
No, it is not.
Ooh, you know what? It's cold today, but it's going to be warm coming up. You got to go visit Buzz at Buzz's Hawaiian Grill. A one-of-a-kind dining experience. Food Truck Association of St. Louis member, Buzz's Hawaiian Grill. They're family owned. He's got his daughters helping him out when they're on break from college and work and all that stuff. You will love their food. Pays extra for the quality food. I feel that's important to tell you because that means you're going to enjoy it more. He takes care of you. You take care of him. He takes care of We Are Live by sponsoring it. It's Buzz's Hawaiian Grill, where aloha comes from the heart, everybody. So go check that out. Be like your girl, Alexis Zoda. She went and Instagrammed it right away.
I challenge people to write a screenplay.
Here's the thing. When you
it
start
is
explaining
emotionally
it,
grueling.
Look up The Office. You can Google all this stuff. Google an episode of Seinfeld to see what an actual script looks like. From script to what ends up on your TV on prime time. Like, there is so much that goes into it because it just looks like a bunch of words on a piece. And don't get me wrong, there's like, oh, that's funny. But to read a script, like, you can be like, that's good, but it's also monotonous. It's also, there's no context. And then you get an appreciation for the editing, the acting, the delivery, you know what I mean? Because one sentence of a written script would be like, I'm going to the car wash today. But if somebody does it as they're falling down and has good delivery, then it's a whole different thing.
I think you kind of get a better understanding like why a lot of these TV shows have 8 to 10 to 12 writers. You know, there's so much that goes into producing a season and even a film. You saw recently at the Academy Awards, Best Screenplay Adaptation, there were 4 guys up there. 4 guys ended up winning Best Screenplay Adaptation. It takes a village to truly put these scripts together. Not just the TV show and the movie, but the script itself. And you're talking 5, 6, 7 drafts. You're talking about endless studio notes. And it is so rigorous. And so to get to this point, to just finish a screenplay was just one of my bigger goals a year ago. And then I told myself that I'm going to put out more of my writing just for the opportunity to get feedback, criticism, so I can have an idea as to where I'm at. And so to have the opportunity to be able to go to New York and be in the same room as, I mean, again, people who created Sesame Street.
Same room as Bert and Ernie.
Yeah, I mean, it's Sesame Street, man. It's like it's a national treasure. It is as American.
Don't put
as
it in
comes.
national.
It is well, okay. It's better than National Treasure.
That is not accurate.
Like it had freaking Smokey Robinson and Gladys Knight. That's some of the greatest guest
How long
appearances
ago
of
was
all
that?
time. That was in the early '90s, and I was a young baby. But it's Bert and Ernie, man. It's Cookie Monster. It's Oscar the Grouch.
I'll say it's on par. How about that?
With with Nicolas Cage.
Yes.
Okay, if you say so.
Yeah.
If you say so.
That's great. That is greatness.
So
I'm giving you greatness, Travis. Why are you denying greatness?
Will you have access to the set? Like, will you be around the puppets and the puppeteers and the actors?
I don't think so.
I would keep you away from it.
I would probably.
They won't
do
even give
that
you a
as
tour?
well. I don't know. Maybe they will. I do know that I am excited because I'll be in New York around the time of Game of Thrones. So, and I know there are some really sweet-ass watch parties that I'm looking forward to attending.
Do you think you're going to be invited to those?
Well, it's not a matter of inviting, Chris. It's one thing I've learned about New York the last couple of weeks. You just do it. You just do it. You just when you're in New York, you just hey, if there's a watch party, you just show up.
Have you learned that city's going to eat you alive?
Well, I am absolutely certain. Look,
a prevailing question that has come up from numerous listeners, friends, family. passersby in St. Louis that heard the news. They're curious how you will attack the punctuation required of a Sesame Street fellow. Is that a good thing? Are you a fellow?
I see where people are going with this.
Your punctuality?
Which, to be fair, he's on a fair streak of we're talking half an hour early.
Yeah.
Yeah, for Mid-Coast.
We're looking at a situation.
Supposed to be an hour early.
We're looking at a situation where that hawk, man, it just doesn't go away. I understand everyone's concerns. That's the thing I've actually been working on the last couple of weeks before I've made my official announcement. How can I make it easier for me to get to where I need to be? And that's actually been the only thing that's kind of been on my mind the last few days.
It took Big Bird to drill into that skull of yours.
No, it took a city that, as Gardner just illustrated, can absolutely eat me alive at any moment. And so I
or
have
where
to,
your transportation is not necessarily controlled by you.
Exactly. And so
you're going to be like, I'm 17 minutes late. I'm so sorry. I was 4 blocks away. And the cab, and they're like, you should have ran.
Here's what I've been thinking, though. Someone's going to
Think
tell
they run
me.
a tight ship on Sesame Street?
I would imagine they would. They're owned by the good folks at HBO, so I would imagine that being punctual and organized goes a long way.
Are you a rival of the House of Mouse?
So wait.
Not at all.
So your
It's children
drastic,
education.
your
That's what we're here
drastic
for.
improvement here at Mid-Coast was all just for the bird and the Snuffleupagus.
But to be honest with you guys,
You're a guy who's on time now.
I have decided.
Well, what have we been doing this for a month?
Well,
I'm showering him with praise.
Well, I've been thinking about it, and I was like, man, I too want to grift off white people. And so that's what I have been doing. I have been essentially just riding you guys' coattails all the way until I needed to get close to my destination so where I can jump off and go do my own thing. So I appreciate you guys giving me the ride, but now that I'm here, please do not acknowledge me and pretend that you do not know me at all. I would appreciate that. And a prime example of that, you know why? Prime example is of Cankles saying on the main page, when my family is commenting, your mom and I are very proud.
So a listener.
So that's why. You know how when Pam and Jim were like, this is why we chose not to tell the office. That's why I chose to hold it off, because I knew there was going to be a Cankles in there talking about my mom in my mass feed that my family can see.
So you're attacking a 3+ year listener of this show simply for being proud of you?
There are certain ways you can express that. You can certainly express that.
So you're going to take a swing. You're not trying to leave. You're not doing anything else. But say you go up there, and then as you think will happen, you're going to start working for The Daily Show, or we'll say Black Panther 8 or whatever they roll out that's straight to DVD that you're worthy of. So will you just throw up a middle finger one day on the live stream if you're videoing in, and then we never hear from you again?
Man, put it this way.
I feel like that'll happen.
Last year we learned that studios created over 500 original shows. 500 original shows. The most in the history of television. Hell yeah, I'm trying to get on somewhere so I can leave y'all. What y'all think this is all about? I ain't trying to be up here and handle a charity. I've been carrying y'all on my shoulders for the last damn near 4 years. Y'all gonna have me sit up here and continue to carry y'all all the way to the top? No, this is where you get off.
I've worked with you guys for a little over a year.
Yeah, this is very true. And Gardner, I'll be more than happy to sign some autographs at Rosie's. I can stop by and do that for you.
For nominal per autograph.
There will be a fee.
I don't think anyone will care about you.
Okay, that's fair. That's probably fair. That's a good
the thing that I want most to happen.
Sean will be there. Sean will be more popular.
Sean will continue to be more popular than me.
Cool. Can you bring Sean to Sesame Street?
Oh dear God, no.
Which character on Sesame Street would best represent our voiceover star, Sean?
Oscar the Grouch. Oscar definitely.
Sean dumpster dives.
What you don't say.
I've been dumpster diving with him before.
I have to say I am shocked.
Yeah. Found some nice ashtrays. crystal ashtrays doing that before?
I'm very excited. This is going to be a lot of fun because this is as close as to jumping out of an airplane I've ever done in my entire
Well,
life.
maybe you can do that too for a Traview.
That would be fun. Maybe I'll do that. I do turn 35 in a few weeks, so maybe I will indeed jump out of an airplane. But I will say this. Can I say this? Follow your damn dreams. I know that's corny to say. And trust me, they don't tell you this part when you are following your dreams. It's going to be painful. It's going to be grueling. You're going to be thrown down the steps and set on fire about at least 3 or 4 times. And there are going to be days where you're thinking everything's going right and everything ends up going wrong. But if it's something that you truly want and truly love and something that you really want to be a part of, I can say from now personal experience, it's well worth the journey. It's going to be a pain in the ass, but if that's where you want to get, I suggest that you stick with it. And I'm very honored and flattered to have the opportunity to work, again, under something that I've admired since I was a wee little baby, and to have the opportunity to actually produce content for kids. I love kids. I love my sisters. I love my nieces. I love making them laugh. So to have the opportunity to do that on a major scale and make other people's kids laugh and think and have fun, that's kind of cool.
You still haven't answered a question, though, Travis.
Okay.
What are you going to do to teach the kids what that booty do?
That is not what it's about. It's about respecting people, and they're not just their bodies.
That's a picture of
because
Rihanna
I'm body positive, and Rihanna positively has a nice body. That's beside the point. But she's a creative. She's a leader. She's an independent woman. She's a CEO. She's a president. And she's more just for your googly eyes, Gartner. Okay? She's more than just that. Okay? She's a black woman in our community, lifting it up, giving young people the opportunity to have their own lives and careers and companies. You're better than that, Gardner. You're better than that, Gardner.
Great segment for the start of the show. Congrats to Travis. And thank you to all of you for working with us, working through all of the fun, and staying in tune with what we have going on. So cool stuff happening. Again, check out midcoast.media if you want to know everything that we have going on here. And thanks to Tech Electronics. They helped us build out our studio. They're a local business. They can help individuals, businesses, from everything from security to surveillance to full-on IT and equipment help, everybody. So we'll take a quick break, and Chris Gardner's chuckling at something that I've stumbled over. Get your fair fouls in. We'll have Sam Lyons back next hour. We'll be right back.